I'm really going to Connecticut.
Oh,
and
go for it.
Yeah,
Here we go. Oh, good. But I still
Oh, welcome back, everybody. We're here in the finals of the Los Angeles PC. It's Len Deuel against Nathaniel Christmas. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
one soul duel.
Duel. Okay. Len Deuel against Nathaniel Christmas here. Well, we already seen Nathan's team from the previous match, but Len's team is Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Metagross, Gengar, Tapu Lele, and Pheromosa.
I believe he brought that 6 to a NPA game. I think he played a set in Salt Lake City. I forget, but it's a really cool team. Seems a lot more offensively positioned.
Yeah, it's definitely a very offensive team. It'll be interesting to see. You know, Metagross did pick up a lot of steam prior to Worlds and at Worlds.
Nathan also has a super fast mode, so I like to see how Len deals with that if Nathan chooses to bring that.
Yeah, Len definitely has a more offensive team, where Nathan has a more setup team base. But we're about to find out how this is gonna play out. This is the finals. Len did beat Riley Factura, so he definitely deserves to be in this spot right here because it was such a stacked Premier Challenge. Len's going to lead with Garchomp and Gengar, while Nathaniel is going to lead with Lilligant and Torkoal.
That is the lead. That's the super fast offensive mode. So Len's job this game, I think, is to answer the super fast mode that's most likely faster than most of his Pokemon, if not all. I think that'll be really interesting.
It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, definitely Nathan has a huge amount of threat going on right now into this turn one.
We'll have to see the items on the Garchomp and maybe the Gengar.
Yep. The Garchomp is going to go for the Protect here. It doesn't want to get knocked out or something like that. Torkoal is going to go for a Protect as well, while Lilligant's go for a Leaf Storm onto the Garchomp. While Gengar is going to go for the Sludge Bomb onto the Lilligant. Is it going to be able to pick up a KO? It does not because it has a Focus Sash, but maybe it'll pick up a Poison. Does it? It does pick up a Poison! Ooh, that is huge.
Another thing we can note from that is that because of the lack of Grass EMZ, now Len has much more damage ranges he can play around.
Yeah, that Poison was definitely huge because then, you know, he could have gone for something like a Sleep Powder the next turn, or gone for something else. But it's just so unfortunate for
a very
Nathan.
crucial Poison.
Yeah.
Also seen at the round 3 of US Nationals between Gio and Tobias.
We don't talk about that. There's no Dragonites in this game, so. But yeah, fortunately, that was a huge turn for Len. You know, it's didn't look good for him coming into this.
A very good turn from him.
Yeah, but the completely turned around.
The question that I assumed to last the whole game, Len kind of solved in one turn.
Yeah.
With a little bit of luck, but nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, luck is half of the game, or 30% if you're using Sludge Bomb. So now we're gonna have to see what this Torkoal goes for, if he stays in or he switches out. So Gengar plus Garchomp here putting a massive amount of threat. It goes for a double protect while the Porygon 2 goes for the Gengar goes for a taunt onto the Porygon 2, so no Trick Room coming out. While Garchomp is going to go for a Tectonic Rage onto what I assume is that Torkoal slot, which should be able to pick up a KO unless that Garchomp is a wimp, which is not.
The double protect on Nathaniel's part, I think, shows a lot of things about what's at the back.
Yeah, we don't know what's in the back. Maybe he just didn't want to take the damage. Maybe Torkoal outlived its use since the Lilligant's out now. Yeah, and that definitely picked up a one-hit KO. So Len just has a huge lead here. He still has taken no damage. And Nathaniel go for the Trick Room, but unfortunately he got taunted by that Gengar. Very good so far from Len. And the last slot is that Arcanine. So it's Arcanine and P2 versus the world. You know, he has to figure out a way to not only knock out this Garchomp plus this Gengar, but whatever's in the back. And there just might not be enough turns for the Arcanine to be able to do that.
Yeah, if I were Nathan, I would want to see what the Gengar's holding for game 2. But the question is then, does Len with 4 Pokemon allow that chance to happen? I think there's a lot of thinking for Nathan to do, despite the fact that he's down 2-4.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of information he can get still from this game, even if he doesn't think he can win this. But, you know, you should never give up the game until it's truly over. We have seen crazy stuff happen. So, you know, let's see. Gengar is going to go for the Protect here. So we've seen get Protect, Sludge Bomb, and Taunt. And Garchomp is going to go for the Earthquake, probably into everybody. So the Porygon 2 is not going to take too much damage, but that Arcanine is definitely going to take a massive amount of damage here. And the Arcanine goes for the Fire EMZ in Sun, so that's going to do a massive amount of damage.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be big damage.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
As for the P2 Garchomp, I feel like Len at this point doesn't care too much for conserving his Garchomp, given that he's very ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Garchomp did everything it needed to do in this turn. Gengar is gonna take that Fire EMZ. Almost gets knocked out. I mean, you couldn't hold something like a Sash, so we don't know whether or not that would have knocked out anyway.
Really
the Ice Beam from the Porygon 2 is not gonna get a freeze because the Sun is out. So we don't know what the moveset is on that Arcanine yet. But like, I would be very shocked if Len loses this game because it's just so far ahead.
Len
we don't even know.
To have this match under control. Porygon 2's options are very limited with the taunt. But now Nathaniel can threaten the KOs onto either one or both of the mons, depending on the way he plays this. I'm interested to see how this turn would go.
Well, we're about to find out. I mean, that Arcanine could have something like an extreme speed. We don't really know what it has, but I just don't know how. I just don't know how Nathaniel's gonna be able to win this, but maybe he does. So Bop or Arcanine is gonna go for the Protect here, and let's see. Sludge Bomb into the Arcanine, so no. Ice Beam is going to go into the Gengar slot. A very good prediction from Nathaniel to be able to figure out that the Garchomp was going to go for the Protect here. And now even if... the other thing is that now the Porygon 2 cannot get taunted again. So, depending on what Len has in the back, which is the Tapu Lele, it's still not the best positions for Nathaniel, but at least now he knows what the other Pokemon that Len brought was.
Yes. And as for the last Pokemon that is not revealed from Len's side, that could potentially swing the way he plays this turn.
Well, we're about to find out what's going to go now. Even if the Arcanine did have something like Extreme Speed, it won't be able to go for it because because of the Psychic Train. Fire Fang into the Porygon slot, not going to do that much Psychic onto that Arcanine. It is going to be able to pick up a KO for sure. And now, I mean, Porygon can go for a Trick Room now, but it's a little bit too late at this point. Maybe if Nathaniel was able to get the double Protect, maybe he could have maybe swung things around a little bit. But unfortunately, the Sun is out now, and the Porygon 2 against a Tapu Lele, a Garchomp, and whatever's in the back. I'm not sure if he'll be able to win. But it is a Porygon, and where there's a Porygon, there's a way.
Yes, definitely. It still threatens the Garchomp, and there can be those skill-based freezes from Ice Beam onto the Lele.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen people be able to hack the way out of wins.
And sometimes you have to roll for it. That's what makes somebody a good player, maximizing odds.
Yeah, Nathaniel is gonna show that his last Pokemon is that Metagross, so Ice Beam into the Metagross is not gonna do that much damage. Maybe he can pick up a freeze here, but he doesn't. So now the Psychic onto that Porygon 2 is going to do a lot of damage since it is a under Psychic Train. And yeah, this game is pretty much over.
Yeah, for Nathaniel, I think losing kind of sucks, but at least being able to see a 4 that Len brought.
Well, I mean, it's just game 1. There's still the games 2 and 3.
I think being able to see that whole 4 really gives him that opportunity to look into the strategy of his team and try to come up with an adjustment for game 2.
Yep, and we're going to see Nathaniel is going to forfeit this game, so Len is up 1 game here in the finals of the Los Angeles PC. So, yeah, the game was more or less kind of decided at pretty much turn 1. Well, it was it became really rough for Nathaniel to come back from that. I mean, it wasn't impossible, but the taunt on the Gengar preventing the Trick Room from getting set up. Arcanine staring down on Garchomp is never fun, and so we're gonna see. And there's a lot of adaptation. Pokemon is a game about adapting, and this is why we play best of 3 as opposed to best of 1. Let's give a rundown of the teams again. Would you rather want to do that? Yeah,
Len brought an aggressive team using Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Metagross, Gengar, Pheromosa, and Tapu Lele, while Nathan brought his team from U.S. Internationals, North American Internationals, sorry.
It was a tournament somewhere.
Yeah, something.
Alright, so we're about to go into Game 2 here in the finals of the Los Angeles Premier Challenge. Len just needs to win one more game to take that win back to NorCal. He does live in NorCal, right? Oh, you live in LA? Never mind. So the win stays in LA. Which is good.
No more NorCal invasion into mid-seasons, please.
Yeah. So Patrick Smith was wrong. I see you in the chat. So a very different lead from both players, Tapu Koko and Metagross against the Arcanine and the Ninetales, which was a lead we saw Nathaniel use in the last game, or in the last match he played. So that Metagross is really threatening that. That's a huge threat to the Ninetales.
Turn 0, I think, is very important. Last game, I felt that Len understood what Nathan was going to bring. So we'll see if that continues for Len in this game.
Well, I feel like Len almost predicted this lead, because
seems
Lilligant
really
Torkoal would have been really good here, but somehow he knew that this was going to happen. Maybe he has Psychic Lens, but that Bullet Punch onto this Ninetales. Since we saw the Focus Sash onto the Lilligant, we knew that it would survive. The Volt Switch onto the Arcanine slot is going to do a good amount of damage.
Good damage.
And now we're going to find out what
Shuffle, perhaps?
Len's going to go for here. Maybe he's going to go bring his own Arcanine in and get an Intimidate.
A lot of sense, letting Arcanine live.
But, he has no Intimidate, so I should keep track of his team better.
That's right.
So Farium Z into this. Who is it going to go for? Could go for the Garchomp, or he could go for the Metagross. Well, I guess those are the options.
I think Len's content with trading his Metagross for Ninetales, though.
Yeah.
Given the Garchomp in the bag, I felt that it was just something that he had to get rid of.
Well, the Farium Z is going to go for that Garchomp, which is going to be resisted. Still does a decent amount of damage, but this is not what Nathaniel did not want to see that. He wanted that Koko gone, but now that, now he's staring down a Garchomp and a Metagross, and Ninetales is gone. No, he did not get a Royal up or anything like that.
Seeing the Focus Sash from Game 1 was very crucial.
Yeah, now we know how much information is playing a factor into this game. Porygon 2 does get a special attack increase here, and I don't know if Metagross plus Garchomp, I'm not sure if the damage would be able to knock out this Porygon 2.
Given that those two are the bulkiest mons in his team, it feels that Len would be reluctant to switch. Of course, if he calls that Nathan thinks that way, then Len will just not switch. But here he goes.
So Tapu Koko is coming in for the Metagross slot, and we can see a Z move going into one of the Pokemon, possibly that Arcanine, but we're not sure yet. So we have to watch the animation play here for 30-something seconds.
It's not 30 seconds. That's Eevee.
No, Eevee is 45 seconds.
Oh right. Okay.
I counted.
Wow.
I think I did the math, and about 3 hours of my life was spent watching that animation. Maybe more.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play Eevee anymore.
Yeah, cool. But I'll still do it. So, Garchomp gets the KO here, but now Trick Room is up, and Porygon 2 is starting down 2 fast Pokemon with the special attack increase. So, even though Len picked up a lead very, very early on in this game, it's still up in the air for, depending on what Nathaniel has in the back, he might be able to bring this back from the brink of extinction.
Yeah, this really shows the difference between an aggressive team and a more balanced approach. It's really difficult for the taunt user to be positioned into a Trick Room user if the Trick Room user is careful.
Yep.
And we see that right here. Yeah,
and now we see a Torkoal and a P2 against this Garchomp and this Tapu Koko. So, it looks like even though Nathaniel was so behind the first 2 turns, he's in a really good spot here to just pick up KO after KO. We know that he has a Metagross in the back, so it's just going to be, he doesn't have a switch in, as far as I know, but maybe he knows something I don't. So Tapu Koko and Garchomp staring down both these very, very aggressive Pokemon. The P2 did get a special attack increase, so an Ice Beam will pick up a KO here no matter what.
Yeah, so now Len has to make the choice between stalling, switching, or just giving up some mons in order to get the free switch.
And we see that the Torkoal is going to go for an Eruption. It's going to do a lot of damage to this Tapu Koko. Unless it's an EV Koko, it's going to get knocked out. And it definitely does get knocked out.
It's knocked out for real.
Yeah, so now it's not looking good for Len. Nathaniel had the Len had the advantage in the beginning, but Nathaniel just he knew what his win condition was, which was just to set up that Trick Room and just go for Killing Machine.
Yeah, it seems that Nathaniel's adjustment mainly came down to positioning Porygon 2 differently.
Well, and, the P2 was able to step up the Trick Room, and now that Metagross is staring down a Garchomp and that Metagross is staring down a Eruption and an Ice Beam, and the Garchomp is staring down an Ice Beam. So I don't know how Metagross can survive this unless it has a knockout berry of some sort. So I don't see that happening.
Given the health total on the weather, that seems very difficult.
Well, but Gengar is going to switch in. Maybe he can activate that Cursed Body.
That sounds like Sash.
Garchomp goes for that double protect, but it does not get it. Flamethrower into this Gengar. Does it activate the Curse? It does reveal the Focus Sash onto the Gengar. No, what's the name? Cursed Body activation, but I mean, you can still go for Eruption now.
The Sash is very crucial for Nathaniel. If he knew that in Game 1, he would have played it very differently.
Well, and
Although
it looks.
he probably should have assumed it, and he did.
Yeah, this game, like, it turned around so quick. Next thing you knew, like, Trick Room was up, Eruption was happening. So it looks like Nathaniel is going to be able to take this game and take it to the final game of this Premier Challenge of this Los Angeles. So.
Yeah, Len's going to need some really lucky protect rolls to stall out Trick Room here.
I mean, even if he was able to, I mean, I don't know how this Metagross plus this Gengar is going to be able to take down this Torkoal.
I think a Zen Headbutt flinch after getting out of Trick Room could help, but that's like a lot.
He's going to need a lot of luck.
Yes.
So Gengar gonna go for that protect now. So the Metagross is gonna go for something here. Probably not gonna get a chance to move, however, unless it's an AV Metagross, which it's not. It's dead.
Even if it is, like Flamethrower from a Torkoal might not be something you wanna stay in on.
Yeah. So it looks like Len is gonna lose this game. He probably got a good amount of information out of this match.
Seems like it's Len's turn to adapt.
Yep, and now Nathaniel is throwing it back to Len, so Len's gonna have to adapt to like the situation here. Just won't be able, you just can't let the P2 set up the Trick Room.
And like, I'm not sure if this is a play that these players would go for, but given the modular options in Nathan's team, he can definitely call a certain lead and bring a specific for in order to deal with that, which is honestly what seems like Len was doing the first two games.
So here we are at the final game of the Los Angeles Premier Challenge, an event so prestige that anybody could walk in with $5 and enter.
Yeah, very prestigious indeed.
You got pizza.
And we got free pizza.
Yeah, free pizza.
Thank you to Miguel, the best TO
in the world.
Yeah, well, the best one we have, and
the one we need.
He's the TO we need, but not the one we deserve.
Unfortunately.
Is that how Batman went?
He's too good for us. He's too good for us. Free pizza.
No, did you ever watch The Dark Knight? Yeah, okay. I think that's why he said it, but I was.
Anybody in chat who didn't watch The Dark Knight, press 1.
If you didn't watch The Dark Knight, please leave the chat and the internet. Yeah, you're banned. Don't watch anything. Well, watch The Dark Knight and then watch other stuff. Okay. So here we are, the final game. Len Deuel against Nathaniel Christmas. Both players, playing exceptionally well here. We're gonna see what the leads are for both players to be able to see how they both adapt to this. Because even though Nathaniel was able to win this last game, he should still have to be able. He still needs to predict how is Len gonna be able to adapt. So we're gonna see Tapu Koko in the Gengar from Len versus the Lilligant and Torkoal. So we've seen this before. Well, we've seen part of this before. The only difference is now there's a Tapu Koko where that Garchomp is to be, and but now Lilligant cannot go for a Sleep Powder. That's a very important thing to know here. But it could. That option very well. Yeah, but it could go for could double up into the Gengar. There's a lot of possibilities here. So there's quite a bit of mind games. Tapu Koko does not. It's not in a good spot right now. An Eruption would definitely knock it out. But Tapu Koko goes for the Volt Switch. So it's a Scarf Koko. Interesting. Very interesting to know. We did not find out until now. I'm actually a big fan of Scarf Koko. I actually remember when I played Len in NorCal mid-season, and he beat me with Scarf Koko. And I was
the same team.
I don't know, but I was very salty about that back then. I'm less salty now, but still, that's a very interesting play from him. Eruption going out into, but not going to do as much damage because it took so.
Oh wow.
That Gengar, Torkoal took so much damage, and here comes the Sludge Bomb. Is it going to be able to pick up another poison? Only time will tell, and the time is now, and it is poisoned!
That is so unfortunate.
Lilligant gets poisoned again. Oh, that is so unfortunate for Nathaniel.
Now the Torkoal is kind of just doing its own thing. It's going to have very big implications for the rest of the game.
The choice card didn't even matter.
That's very unfortunate. So Nathaniel is I don't know what he has in the back to be able to stop this, but if he has, if he has the P2, he's not going to be able to do much because of that Gengar has taunt to stop it.
Yeah, Len covering multiple options, revealing the Scott Coco.
Yeah, that was very good from Len for not revealing that until now. Now that I look at it, this team does look very familiar.
That was very well played on Len's part. Also a little bit of luck, but that's how the game goes.
Yep, that's how the game goes, unfortunately. And here comes the Arcanine to get the Intimidate out, but it's going to take a lot of work to be able to climb back from this game. But, it's not over until it's over. Nathaniel still has a Pokemon in the back. We don't know what it is yet, although the Torkoal did take quite a bit of damage this time. So it's slowly but surely its options are going away.
Yeah, Len really wants to watch out for the Fire MZ, however.
Yeah, but here comes Lucky Ducky, otherwise known as P2.
Oh, this is potentially dangerous for Len. If he protects his Gengar and then the Fire MZ in Sun goes into the Gengar, that might eliminate it and stop the taunt from being working.
Yep, but no, that's not what's happening because the Garchomp is going to go for an Earthquake here. Does not burn the Z move yet. Very, very good play from Len, identifying that Arcanine was not going to go for, the Arcanine was not going to risk the Fire MZ into the Gengar.
Yeah.
If he did go for this Fire MZ onto that Gengar, he would have been able to pick up a KO here and then put himself in a good position to win this entire game.
Making that play on that turn specifically, the one turn prior, that would be a bit of a stretch. But it's something that Len will have to keep track of because now the Gengar's at a range where the Fire MZ can kill it through the Protect in Sun.
So here comes Arcanine, does switch out for that Torkoal. And let's see what's going to happen now. That Gengar is probably going to go for Taunt. Does not want that Porygon 2 from setting up another Trick Room. Yep.
With the Torkoal on lower health, now Len doesn't have to play around the Eruption as well. Well, we'll see where the Ground DMZ goes first.
Well, the Ground DMZ, the Ground DMZ is definitely probably going to go into that Torkoal slot. So now it's going to be, Arcanine and P2 versus the world again.
Yeah, with the Torkoal dead, it's very tough for Nathaniel to get out of this situation.
The Arcanine is still very, very healthy. If he maybe made that read and went for something like Ice Beam onto the Garchomp slot. He did go for that read, so Ice Beam onto the Garchomp.
That works.
I wonder if that's going to be able to pick up a KO. It does pick up a KO, so it's not over. It's still not over.
Switching to Garchomp with Protect generally means the boost will be special attack, so yeah.
Yeah, so Len, he's still ahead in Pokemon, but it's not over. Porygon 2 is Porygon 2 is taunted, so he won't be able to set up a Trick Room yet. However, Len does have still has some tools to be able to maybe figure out a way to deal with this.
Yeah.
So here comes that Tapu Koko again, and here comes the Arcanine. So both players using it's not over. It's not even close to being over. There's still stuff that Nathaniel can do to potentially win this match. Koko does present quite a bit of a threat because we know that this Arcanine is maybe more offensive since it has Fire MZ. But the Koko is Scarf, so maybe it's less. It's not as bulky, so it might not be able to take attacks as well.
Yeah, with the speed advantage that Len has, he can definitely take a lot more options.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. This is going to be a very decisive turn. We need to figure, the P2 also cannot go for recovery yet, so it is a little bit rough for Nathaniel. So Arcanine is going to go for the Protect here. And Tapu Koko is going to go for T-Bolt onto that Arcanine, and Sludge Bomb also into the Arcanine, so a very good Protect from Nathaniel. Thunderbolt going on to probably that Gengar slot. It will be able to pick a KO, so now the game is down to 2 against 2. But the Curse Body does activate, so that could play it could be a big deal if, Metagross is the last Pokemon, but It by no means this game is over yet. Tapu Lele does come in, so
That is very threatening.
yeah, that's not good for Nathaniel right now.
Especially after blowing the protector turn before.
Yeah, I mean, if maybe this Arcanine is faster than his Lele, it could potentially do something, but we don't know that yet. So it's gonna come down to this turn probably.
Very tricky. Though we can assume that Len's Lele is probably very fast, given the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So I think it's more likely for the Lele to outspeed the Arcanine.
So here we go. This is going to be a very decisive turn. Arcanine already went for Protect the last turn, so Tapu Lele does go for a Protect here. Very good read. Nathaniel seems happy? I don't know. So Thunderbolt onto this Arcanine does have a lot of damage, but the Fire MZ under the sun. It's going to go to... It's going to go into what slot?
It's still like a... I think so good.
Let's see what's going to happen.
Seems like the Inferno Overdrive into the Coco.
Is it going to go into the Coco?
Calling the Protect.
It does go into the Coco, so call the Protect correctly. That Coco is going to be incinerated into oblivion. And now it's Tapu Lele versus Arcanine in P2. So, that was a very good read. I mean, I don't know how fast Len's Lele is, but he probably did not want to... Probably did not want to test his luck, because I know a Fire MZ under the sun would have definitely been able to pick up KO here.
Yes.
And so even though it looked really bad for Nathaniel, he was able to play to his outs, and now it looks like he might be able to take the win here.
Yeah, Nathan got ahead with better target.
And it does show that the Arcanine was faster than the Lele the whole time. Oh, that's a lot of damage, and that's a burn!
This still seems like a game, though. Well played to both players.
And that's going to be game, unless a miracle happens, and God strikes us all down or something.
A miracle will involve something outside the game, because the game itself has already decided, it seems.
Yeah, so the burn, even if like Lele somehow was able to pick up a KO into his P2, which is not, the burn is definitely going to pick up a KO. And Nathaniel is going to be able to win the Los Angeles Premier Challenge, which is the next best thing to winning Worlds. Congratulations. Congratulations to Nathaniel for a very, very well played match.
Adding another top finish to his resume, great for him.
Yep.
And also well played to Len. Playing a very cool team that he has run for a very long time to perfection.
I was like, did he invest in HP or speed? That's what I was worried about. I was like...
Yep. So that's going to be game. Both players shook their hands. Very good sportsmanship from both sides. Nathan overcame RNG and more RNG, and a little bit more RNG after that part. But, you know, those are very good finals. Congratulations to Len as well for playing so well and for taking however many points you get for getting second place. And Nathaniel gets that 15 points towards his way to get to his world invite. Congrats again, and I think, guys, that's going to be it. Scary Terry, thank you for commentating with me. Anything you want to say?
I don't know. Thanks everyone for watching. I probably spoke too fast. Sorry about that.
But yeah, thanks again everybody for watching. Until next time.
You guys had a good commentator.